What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode, our second episode of The Worst Company to Have, where we talk about pretty much nothing of importance.
Nothing important at all.
No, nothing important at all.
Everything we talk about, you can look up on like Screen Rant. Just open up Yahoo, you'll see it. Like it's not.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you care to look up any of that at all, if you any.
Why
like
are
that.
you listening to this? Just
Click off right now. Canceled.
no, please don't. I wasted gas for this.
Alright, well, my name is Kyle, and with me is my co-host.
I'm Alex. Hi.
What's up, everybody? Alright, Alex, you take us into the news.
So just quick, I just went to this website and I just found just not movie titles, just article titles of just recent movie news, and I just thought it'd be cool just to go briefly with them. There's a lot, and just give a quick opinion on what all this news is about. So the first one is so it looks like there's gonna be a sequel to. I have no context for these, by the way. I'm just going off by the title. So the title says Friday the 13th star wants Halloween H2O inspired sequel. So
Wait. Say that again.
Friday the 13th star wants Halloween, H2O inspired sequel.
So, the star of the Friday the 13th sequel...
I have no context.
I'm just trying to get a read of the title there. So, the star of Friday the 13th sequel wants an H2O style movie?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Next one.
Alright.
Moving on.
It could not have been the most complicated title.
Here's another article. It looks like in the most recent It reboot, there's a deleted scene where Pennywise eats a baby.
Damn.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool to see. I mean, well, he's eating an arm.
Yeah.
So that I'm just curious to know, like, was he just eating body parts and people?
I don't know, but I mean, like, in what context would that have been? Like,
I don't know. I have to open the article, and you don't have Wi-Fi, so.
Who's it? I don't have Wi-Fi.
You have Wi-Fi. I just don't want to open the article.
All right.
There's some more BS about other stuff. David Fincher is criticizing Marvel for their filmmaking approach. I don't know about what.
Who isn't criticizing Marvel about their filmmaking approaches? I mean, Marvel's such a big, like, huge, like, company and stuff. Like, they're this huge entity, and you're gonna have those people who want to talk shit about everything. So it's like,
one thing I will give Marvel, at least as far as criticism, is that they their formula is starting to be a very familiar taste.
oh yeah,
Like a lot. I actually felt it with Doctor Strange. Like I kind of already knew beat for beat what it was going to do, but I still enjoyed the film as much as like anyone else.
well yeah, because Doctor Strange was it was your Phase 1 origin movie.
Yeah.
And considering that it came out during Phase 3?
Came out Phase 3, and I think, was it after Civil War?
Yeah, it came out after Civil War. And it's like you already had all these characters established, and then all of a sudden you're establishing a brand new character, you're starting with them, and it's like, well, this kind of feels out of place.
Yeah.
Especially since it takes place before, I think even before the first Avengers, right?
No, because the Avengers Towers is already there.
No.
But, well, he trains for like 6 or 8 months. He's away for like that long.
Well, even still, it still takes place.
If anything, I think it's taking place during either Civil War or like right before it. Because Doctor Strange ties into Ragnarok like almost immediately. Because if anyone stuck around for the end credits scene, he's having a conversation with Thor.
Right.
Yeah, so.
But I feel like that little end credit scene, he's already established himself as a pretty well sorcerer. So
because that's all after like his
right. I mean, because he has the gloves.
Yeah.
And I feel like those gloves are a big significant part of his Sorcerer Supreme attire.
No, he just got done doing dishes. Thor just came out of it. Okay. Next title is Kevin Smith's thoughts on the latest DCEU plans. It's a picture of him like really giddy and excited. So, he's just a big DC fan, and I can just pretty much imagine what he's gonna say about it.
Right.
Not to like shit on DC or anything, but it's just
no. But I feel like Kevin Smith has at least his opinions in the whole comic book world thing.
So he's known as like the comic book guy.
Right.
But with DC, no, I don't even want to say just with DC, just with like comic book movies in general, he's very quick to like pass on anything that's even remotely negative, kind of. Because I mean I've seen him complain about certain movies and this and that,
right.
but he's so dismissive when it comes to like negative feedback about like a certain movie. Like I think it was like Batman vs Superman, which we both have different opinions of that. He was like, no, it's a great film. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it is to the right eyes, but you know, looking at it as a regular film, it's like,
yeah,
it's okay.
And being, because I remember when we went to go see that movie, you were like,
I was bored out of my mind. I legitimately leaned over and was like, I am bored.
Yeah, I think I remember
and
that.
I shouldn't have been bored. And when I rewatched it at home after buying it, because I have hope for it. So
yeah, right.
So I bought it. I rewatched it, and I was like, the parts that I was bored in, I was still bored, but the parts that excited me were still exciting.
Right.
So did it deserve $13? Probably.
Probably went to the wrong theater.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I remember going out of that theater, and I was pretty giddy with excitement because I was like, oh my god, that movie was great. And maybe it's because like it was the first viewing, and you know I was like, oh my god, what did I just? It was like when I first watched episode 1, yeah, Phantom Menace in theaters. I liked what I saw because it was new and refreshing, but then going back on it and it's like, this was just eye candy. It's just a mess. Going back and watching BVS several times, like I do notice the flaws in that movie, but it still hasn't like. I still think it's a pretty decent film for what it is. At least.
No, I mean I can understand that because I go back and rewatch Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, and 1 is undeniably a good film. 1 is actually good. It was a super recent from Sam Raimi's film, yeah, absolutely. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a real hot mess, and I can still accept it and still watch it, and right. It's just me being biased towards Spider-Man that makes me be like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but I mean, like, you know, going back to like Kevin Smith, I feel like his opinions on certain comic book movies or certain things, they have to have some sort of validity to it because. Yeah. I mean, say what you will about Kevin Smith, but the dude's a funny dude.
Yeah, no.
You know?
Yeah.
And he's made some...
He did Clerks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great.
And he's made some brilliant films in his days, too.
Yeah.
You know, and, like, I wouldn't say he's revered as some sort of, like, god, but, I mean, Kevin Smith is, like, he's, like, the one who knows his shit.
Yeah.
So I feel like if he's the one to say something, you know, anything remotely decent about one of the DC films, and it's like, well, hey, maybe it wasn't as bad after all.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, next one is Gambit apparently is still happening. It's still happening.
Oh my god.
And Kendra is rumored to be the villain of that.
Who's Kendra?
I don't know. Do you care? Let's move on.
Okay.
So, a bit of spoilers for Avengers 4. There's a casting call that teases a funeral scene.
Big spoiler right there. I mean,
Baby Cap. It's Cap.
Someone's gonna die.
Next one is Cyborg's DCEU origin is revealed, which, I mean, it kind of already was.
I mean, is that even something newsworthy? Like, I mean, I guess like for those of you who don't know, Cyborg was created because of a lab accident. Because his father was working with, at least like the new continuity that is in DC, his father was working with the mother boxes, and something happened, and you know what? I'm pretty much completely wrong. I think I know what it is. Something happened to his son that his dad required. His dad needed to like do something to keep his son alive, and I think he used the mother box technology to keep his son alive.
Because in the film, it's just all you see is like just like a quarter of his torso, and then it's just his head.
Yeah.
And then the mother box just like forms around him.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much all the origin you need for Cyborg, because it's not like he had. Well, I'm pretty sure.
Is he a high school football player or college football?
I think it's college.
Because he's wearing a Letterman's jacket in the.
Well, they have Letterman jackets in college.
No, I mean I'm not dismissing that. I'm just like, I can't be like, oh, Letterman jacket, high school kid. Like,
yeah, I guess, but I mean.
But I'm pretty sure it's college because I think it's like what I think the jacket said like Gotham University. I don't know. It said something.
Gotham U. Well, maybe. Yeah, it makes sense.
I watched it a few times, but
and I actually just realized, going back to any of the Justice League trailers that we've seen, like we've seen Bruce Wayne go out and try to recruit these people to form this team. You know, like. He's gone to Aquaman and he gets his ass beat in the little bar scene.
Oh, you think he goes to Cyborg like Varsity Blues? And he's like, kid, you got you got spunk, kid.
I hope so. I hope so.
Join the league.
Join the league.
That's a great arm you got.
Yeah, what a real cannon that boy has.
I like the way you throw that pig skin.
No, but like he goes and like you see him recruiting all these things, all these people. We don't know how he gets Cyborg into the whole thing. He just kind of shows up and he's like, "Oh, I'm a part of it."
That's true.
So I think it'd be kind of interesting to see how he.
I'm excited because Cyborg has always kind of been one of my DC favorites. So I'm happy that he's finally being brought to screen and.
Yeah, and he doesn't look half bad either.
Yeah, he doesn't.
CG's not that bad.
Mm-hmm. I mean, more and more as we go along, I'm starting to shed that like Iron Man image that I had.
Yeah. Because I remember last episode we were talking about it. That you kind of have to. It's kind of inevitable.
It's just more. It's just the helmet. It's that helmet that forms around, and then I'm like Iron Man.
Well, you never know. I mean, Joss Whedon could have taken that out because so far we've only seen that in that one trailer, and then the new ones that we've been getting, he just doesn't show.
So I'm very curious to see what Joss Whedon took out and has put in. So
even that helmet though doesn't look too much like Iron Man because it just has like one. It looks more like a Deadshot.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you know, and that's still more of a DC thing. So yeah I think you're right. It is starting to deviate away from any like Iron Man imagery. Yeah. So that's gonna be cool. I feel like Cyborg is gonna be like along with the Flash. I think those two are gonna be the ones that are gonna definitely like steal.
Is Ezra Miller playing Barry Allen? Or
yeah, he's playing Barry Allen.
Okay, because I had this conversation with my brother the other day, and I was he was like I think he had mentioned that it was Wally West. I don't remember the conversation all that well. This was I think yesterday. But yeah, so because I'm like, it has to be Barry Allen because they're thinking of doing Flashpoint, so it has to be.
Yeah, it's got to be Barry Allen.
So,
because I don't think a lot of people are too familiar with Wally West.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And plus, it wouldn't exactly make sense to bring in the second Flash when you don't even have a first.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely Barry Allen.
Okay. So next one, surprisingly, Annabelle surpasses 300 million at a global box office.
That is crazy.
Because the fact that The Conjuring is even still continuing on, I personally think they're shit movies. But I mean, I guess people are easily scared. people love jump scares, I guess.
Well, I saw Annabelle Creation in theaters, and I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. I think, and I'll be honest with you, I was pretty much hiding behind my hat the entire time.
Your fedora?
No, not the fedora.
Your
just
fedora.
a regular hat.
Burn that fedora.
Shut up.
Burn it.
And I kept like, I was like watching the movie and I was loving it, but at the same time, and this is probably the first time I've ever said this about a movie, but like I turned to my girlfriend and I was like, I've never wanted a movie to end so badly, because it was legitimately scary. Like the jump scares were good, yes, but the moments that were not so much jump scary, like just the creep factor of everything, it was ridiculous. Like there's a scene where the little girl is possessed by spoilers, by the way. There's a scene where the little girl is possessed by like the spirit of the doll, or like the demon that came out. And like she's standing in like this doorway, and like the man who owns the house or whatever, like he's watching the girl, and like she kind of backs up into the shadows, but her eyes are like glowing, and like it just you see them like get. Like you see, the eyes get like taller and stuff, and it just gets all like wanky, and you can hear like bones cracking and stuff, and like he's holding up the cross, and then his fingers just break backwards, and it's just that's not a jump scare moment, but it's still like I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that scene. It was a
you baby.
Shut up.
No, maybe it's like the middle school goth kid in me.
The middle school.
I went through a phase. It was like,
but I mean,
I didn't have black shoes. It was a mess. I don't want to talk about it.
Maybe one day.
No, never.
All right, but like I'm saying, like that scene right there, like it wasn't necessarily jump scary. You have it was presented like
the presentation was.
It was great, and it's kind of surprising that a horror movie would be doing so well, like you said, globally.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was a great movie. Like, I mean, in my opinion, at least, it was a great movie. So, I mean, yeah, good for them.
Like, I torrented it, so I was like, because my nephew's a big horror fan, so he was like, oh, I want to watch anime. So I was like, all right, I'm not paying for it. So I was like, go ahead. Me revealing this stuff is gonna get me in trouble one day. Okay. Next piece.
That is, if anyone listens.
Yeah, like the one person that listened yesterday. It was just me.
It was just you,
just me, because I'm insecure. So, next one is Detective Pikachu has started filming, or is going to start filming in January.
You said that with a very like, ugh.
Because I don't understand why this is a thing. Is he gonna be like is he gonna be animated and he's just in real life, or is it like an animated film?
You got me.
Is he gonna solve a murder?
Oh my god! Imagine.
I don't know. I'm not gonna watch it, but I have a lot of questions.
My god. Come to think of it, like a type of like detective noir, black and white Pokemon animated film where Pikachu's trying to solve like a murder. That'd be actually kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. So then the next one is Jared Leto offers update on a potential Tron reboot. I didn't know. I know Disney was thinking about a sequel to Tron Legacy, because Tron Legacy is a sequel to Tron.
Right.
But they were gonna do Tron Legacy, I think about like 2 or 3 years ago, and they had put it out there, and I think it didn't get backlash. Just no one gave a shit. like no one. And I love Tron. I thought Tron Legacy just visually just was great to look at, and with Daft Punk doing the music for it, I ended up liking it a lot. The narrative is a little sloppy, but it's still fun to watch.
Right.
But yeah, Disney was like, oh, no one gives a shit, get rid of it. So they postponed it, and they said we're gonna work on it. And I guess now they're doing a reboot, and because this is the first time I'm hearing anything about it. And
same here for me.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Maybe same there for you guys too.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Jared Leto is starring in it, which most likely he probably is. But I
From
don't
the sounds
know.
of it, yeah.
I don't know. His Joker has left a sour taste in my mouth. I don't know. So last piece of news is the X-Men Dark Phoenix director announces filming has wrapped. So they're going into editing. It's going to be like maybe another 6-8 months, and then we'll be getting what probably be the last X-Men movie. Oh, no. No.
I'm putting the quotation marks up on that one because I thought X3 was going to be the last X-Men
Well,
movie.
they said, oh no, they want to do a Dark Phoenix like saga. They want to do like a series with it. Last I heard, but I don't know what I don't know if things have changed. I haven't really looked it up, but they want to do a series with it. Not a TV series, movie series. With the most recent cast from Apocalypse.
Okay.
So, does that mean they're gonna have like a recast for Logan? Because if they do, I don't know, that would be interesting to see who would be taking up that mantle, because following Hugh Jackman, it's gonna be real tough.
Right.
Because people have been wanting Tom Hardy because Hugh Jackman has mentioned him as a replacement, but I don't know. I can't really see anyone else.
I don't know. I can't see anything else. I can't even see Tom Hardy. I don't know. Just I don't know. I can't see it.
Well, Tom Hardy is a lot shorter than Hugh Jackman, so he'll have like that stockiness. But
yeah.
But still, I get what you're saying. There has been concept art that like you can just Google and find out real quick of Tom Hardy as Logan. It just looks like Tom Hardy with mutton chops. It doesn't. It looks okay. It just looks like he's been inside of it too long.
Right.
But
like he ordered his Amazon costume and it came. He just decided to put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for. I'm gonna call this quick bits. Quick bits.
Quick bits. Just randomly selecting articles and talking about them, even though we haven't read them.
Hey, it's probably more information that it'll give us, or just about the information.
That's true, because there have been a lot of articles where I've read where it's like it had like such a clickbaity title, and then when I click on it, it literally gave me no information.
Yeah.
It was just like restating the entire article title, and I'm like, well, that was very informative. So
yeah. And so the last thing, it just looks like Kevin Feige praises DC films. They've figured that out. So I don't know what that means, but it's in quotations. And I feel like that's just a dig. Kevin Feige. Like, yeah, you guys did it with Wonder Woman. You got it all figured out now.
Good job. You guys have one movie under your belt. Wow.
But,
throwing shade from the president of Marvel.
So that seems to be all the news for that.
Well then.
All right. Kyle, it's a spooky month. It's a spooky month in October.
It's a good segue.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yes.
I'm excited.
Season
It comes
2.
out next week already?
Is it next week already?
I think so. When's Halloween?
The 31st.
You're no help. But yeah, Stranger Things. So from the teaser trailer that they released a few months ago before San Diego Comic-Con was, it was very inviting because it gives you so much information without telling you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it's about Will. It looks like this whole season's going to be following Will's recovery from him being in the Upside Down.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing that I got from that too. It's just going to focus on Will's entire psyche about it.
Yeah.
And also, it seems to me, and this is what I'm getting from it, that Will might be like a connecting thing, kind of like a lightning rod or something. Like how would I say this? Like, I mean, sure, you've got 11 who travels into like the Upside Down and stuff, but I feel like Will's gonna be like a conduit. There you go.
Okay.
He's gonna be like because he was the one who was in the Upside Down for so long that now, and he's still experiencing all these things after he was rescued.
Yeah.
So it seems like he's gonna be like the conduit. Like he's gonna play much more of a bigger role.
So
in the second
I
season.
think you're onto something, because in the teaser trailer that spider monster tentacle thing that's in the mist when he opens up the door.
Thing?
Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that
It's
thing.
such great visuals for
Right?
Netflix. Like Netflix, so Netflix is kind of shitty with their visuals. I mean, I'm comparing it to something like the Defenders and Daredevil and all that. I mean, Daredevil, you don't have that many special effects, but like Iron Fist, his having his fists glow and you can actually see his bones and stuff like
Right.
that. Like the visuals are
That's
pretty
cool.
they're pretty good. But in stuff like in Jessica Jones where you had like David Tennant's Purple Man, there's a scene where he's trying to increase his power and for a moment his skin starts to turn purple and it's like very bad like CGI. Like it's really bad.
It's like your typical like TV CGI stuff,
Yeah.
you know?
And so with this, like I'm surprised. Well, I mean, I'm not even surprised. I'm just very glad that Netflix is forking the money over to have the Duffer Brothers like be able to have these
Well,
professional visuals.
It's because they know what they want,
Yeah.
you know, because they saw that Stranger Things, the first season, was just a huge hit with everybody, and I mean, I absolutely loved it when I watched it.
Because there's definitely a difference that you can tell from the first one, like the Demogorgon, you don't get to see it a lot.
No.
And for good reason too,
Of course,
because
yeah.
I think it's the last episode or second to last episode, where Eleven is fighting the Demogorgon. You can very much tell it's like super CGI.
Of course, yeah.
You can very much tell. And in this one, the visuals they're more realistic. So
Yeah.
so I think they're really just like funneling money at this, just throwing money at the Duffers, be like, make more 80s,
Do it.
make more 80s things.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, you know, like Netflix knows what they have with Stranger Things, so I feel like they're definitely gonna because it's a Netflix original.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, you've got like the Defenders and like Jessica Jones and stuff, but that's not a Netflix owned property.
Yeah.
that's a Marvel thing.
Yeah, because
So-
even I think even Netflix, they might be. I don't know if Netflix has their own studio, like because Defenders and Jessica Jones, Daredevil, all of those, they're all filmed at ABC Studios.
Right.
So because Disney owns ABC and so,
Right. Yeah. And
so it's
makes
just
sense
easy,
with like
yeah.
Agents of Shield and everything.
Yeah, so it's just easier access for them because they already have the equipment. So I think Netflix is just like, we're gonna have these titles be with our stuff, and then they can move on with that. That just said a whole lot of nothing. But back to Stranger Things, it's I don't know. I'm just excited. When I first saw the trailer, I didn't think of the whole conduit thing of Will.
Will. Yeah.
But I thought like maybe Will's gonna be the villain for this.
It could be.
Because if he is, that's just gonna add like just a huge emotional toll.
I
Because
actually didn't think of that.
because we already have. I mean, it's been like the worst kept secret in the world that 11 is coming back.
I mean, even after season 1, everyone knew 11
Yeah.
was coming back. So it's not like there were.
Because they, for a brief moment, like the Duffer Brothers and Netflix and even the cast were like, we don't know if 11's coming back. Like she's coming back.
She's coming back. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna have.
And then in this recent trailer, you actually see her come. We actually
Yeah.
get to see her.
Even in that first trailer they released,
Yeah. She opens her eyes. Or,
Yeah, so she opens her eyes and she's still like in that same outfit that she was when she first disappeared.
What I want to know is how long, like, is she in a stasis? Is she asleep? Because she wakes up and her hair's a lot longer. But if she's still wearing, like, that jacket and dress, that she was when she disappeared, because I think the Duffer Brothers have said that season 2 is going to continue on a year after the events.
Okay.
So it picks up a year later, and that's they did that to explain why the kids are older, because they couldn't just like roll into like the next
Well,
day.
yeah. What's the dude's name without the teeth?
His real name?
The actor name. Let's go with the actor because I think his real name is hard to pronounce.
It's Dustin, but it's
Dustin.
like Gatton. I don't know his last name.
Yeah. Anyway, that dude, like, he had that little kid voice in the first season, and now like watching the new trailer, he's got a man's voice now. It's like, what?
Oh yeah,
So,
when
yeah.
he's like, you want the bat? He's
Yeah.
like, you want the bat?
Want the bat? It's, what bat?
That's cool. So I like that they're bringing in they're not bringing in like so many new characters. I think we might have like 3. You have like Paul Reisner's character. You have I forgot his name. The guy who played Mike in Goonies. He's gonna play Winona Ryder's love interest or like her
Oh.
boyfriend or something. Yeah. So like it's
Okay.
it's a nice little like nod
Yeah.
to
And
to what
Goonies
is
was an '80s movie, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's great.
That's what I think. Stranger Things, like they're smart with what they put in their shows. Like it's set like in the 80s and stuff, which is kind of funny because when I first watched Stranger Things, it seems like it's a show that should be set in like the 60s or the 50s. So it's a little like, I wouldn't say off-putting that it's set in the 80s, but at the same time, it's also like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. This is the 80s.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it's like, yeah, the 80s, that was a long time ago, but it's still like not...
I might have gotten the name wrong. I don't think Paul Reiser is in Stranger Things, but let me just double check. Because I think I'm completely wrong here.
Well, while you look that up, I do like the whole 80s aspect of Stranger Things, and I feel like it was definitely an inspiration for...
It's definitely a love letter to all 80s movies.
Of course, yeah. I mean, even the new It movie that came out this year.
It's so crazy. It's so
80s.
crazy to me that the studio was like, Duffer Brothers, no, you're inexperienced enough, and then they do exactly what the Duffer Brothers did with Stranger Things.
Yeah,
so,
it's really crazy. But yeah, it's a really cool time.
Oh, Sean Astin is the name of the Goonies kid.
Right.
It was Paul Reiser. I was right. Yeah, Paul Reiser.
Well, there you go.
He's playing the scientist that's evaluating Will.
Oh, okay.
So
all right, cool.
God, Paul Reiser, he's always playing a villain. Is it because he looks like a dick?
Let me see. Yeah, he looks like a dick.
He just has like it's that square jaw, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, villains always have square jaws. I mean,
and then Sadie Sink is gonna be playing their new friend Max. She's like the tomboy.
The girl in the trailer.
Yeah,
okay.
the redhead.
Okay, so I guess they're trying to diversify, you know?
Yeah. And
so if that's the case, do you think there's going to be like a little
love triangle?
Yeah, between what's Finn's character's name?
Mike,
11 and Max?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I think the Duffer Brothers are a bit smarter than that. Because the impression I got is that maybe they're not outright looking for 11, but Mike is definitely still looking for her.
Of course, yeah.
So I don't think that he's just gonna be like, ooh, like new girl.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how guys are, you know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like the writing would be better if there is a love triangle in it. I hope it's just a silly thing. I don't want it to be too serious because Stranger Things isn't about like, like romances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even though a girl can like lose her virginity as her best friend gets eaten.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
You forgot.
Justice for Barb. Oh my god.
Never forget Barb.
I know we won't.
So there are a few shirts at like Hot Topic that says like Justice for Barb or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I always think about buying it and I'm like, no.
I guess she doesn't get justice today.
No, she just doesn't get my money. That's it.
But I mean, going back to that love triangle thing. I mean, I see what you're saying about like you don't want it to be like a romantic aspect. Mm-hmm. I don't think it. For something like Stranger Things, I feel like a romantic aspect between the kids doesn't exactly fit well. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be more like you have this new girl to the group. And obviously the guys are going to start paying attention to her more. So when 11 does eventually come back, I feel like maybe she's going to feel kind of like this jealous thing because, her and Mike had this bond and connection because, they were the ones who interacted the most. Mm. And now that Will's actually like surrounding himself more with this new character, she's obviously going to feel like alone and stuff. And I feel like that can, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a love thing. It's just maybe
maybe just like some
friendship type thing.
Okay.
And plus the fact that 11 has all these powers, I think it might be pretty scary it might actually be some cool scenes where like she could be staring down this new girl, like about to snap her neck with her mind. And then just at the last minute changes her mind. Just like, wait, no, I can't do this.
I mean, that's right. She hasn't really like progressed as far as like with human interaction.
Yeah.
So like she spent what, maybe like a week or two, maybe even a month with Mike, and then she fights a Demogorgon, and then she's gone for a year.
Yeah.
So okay, so maybe she still has that like that sink or swim, like a mentality.
It could be.
So
yeah, and plus I feel like it would definitely give 11 a chance to like grow and like realize it kind of like gives her more of a developmental type of thing.
Okay, so yeah, okay, I finally get what you're getting at, because I mean, yeah, because she only knew like that one singular friendship with Mike, at least like maybe as them being best friends at the most.
Yeah, and you can definitely
because
tell.
Lucas was against her the entire time.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So he was like, no, like we're not doing this. Like let's just go home.
Yeah, exactly.
White people are crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have yeah, because like 11 knew this kid. She's like it's like he's the first, I guess, real friend that she's ever had, and coming back, probably really excited to see him. And then all of a sudden, like, he's got this new person, and it's like, it's probably going to make her feel alone and abandoned again, like she did feel from the first season. But again, all of this is just speculation. I could be completely off my rocker, and we're probably thinking too much about the dynamics of a kid group.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. So maybe maybe they'll do something similar to that or along that lines, maybe just to increase her character a bit more.
Yeah, it could be.
But she's still cool, because I mean it's so cool, because even the season 1 like Blu-ray comes out tomorrow.
Does it really?
And it's
It's
cool.
been that long since they released a DVD?
Yeah, well, Netflix does this, like they just released Daredevil season 2 along with Jessica Jones. And Jessica Jones came out like almost a year and a half ago.
Huh.
Yeah, so
that surprises me in two ways. One, I didn't know Netflix would release DVDs that people can buy because they could just literally just watch it anytime they want.
Yeah.
And two,
so yeah, and that's the thing. Like I don't.
Yeah, usually like when a TV series airs, like they'll release their DVD set, like at least a couple months or even more, like before the new season comes out.
Yeah.
It's like Netflix, like season 1 of Stranger Things, you said comes out, what, next week? Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And what, the season 2 starts next week?
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of weird.
But it's cool, because they're doing this whole...
strange.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Light yourself on fire.
Where's my lighter?
No, so yeah, they're having like all these cool like promotional things. Like the DVD comes in like in this like vintage casing of like a cassette. And
very cool.
And then they have like these super old like figures that Funko's putting out that like you can collect each individual one.
Oh, that's cool.
It's just a small little collection, so it's just a lot of cool stuff that they're gonna be having. So I'm definitely wasting my money on that. I shouldn't, because it's gonna be on there for like life, but I don't know.
That's true.
There's something about owning a physical copy about something.
No, yeah, I know. That's why I still go out and buy CDs and games. It's you've got like that attachment to like a physical object, So.
And especially if they're making it worth the while of like making it look like very old school and very it's worth like $20 or so.
And plus you can get all those like deleted scenes and
that too.
Cut content and all that good stuff. So
actually, and Netflix should do that too. Like they should do like behind the scenes and stuff. At least at the end, because I know like on Google Play, if you purchase a TV series, like I recently just bought season 3 of Mr. Robot, and you have episode 1 that just came out on Wednesday, and then you have like the trailer. It's got a recap of the last 2 seasons, and it's got like some bloopers and all that stuff, just like so you can look into it. So I mean I think maybe Netflix should like maybe consider doing that.
Yeah.
With at least with their original movies, if not their series.
Yeah, well I know that 13 Reasons Why, like as soon as the last episode ended from the first season, they had another thing that kind of showed like the it was like a behind the scenes type of thing.
Oh, okay.
Where they talked about.
Did you watch all of that?
13 Reasons?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I completely dismissed it just because
it's good.
Because on a real critical note, I felt like they romanticized suicide. a lot because I mean, from what I understood and from what people told me about it, because everyone was coming up to me like, "You gotta watch it. You gotta." I'm like,
I think I even came up to you and said you gotta watch
and
it.
I was just like, no, like
Right.
I don't want to. It's it's a sensitive subject that I don't like to watch, and when I hear something like that, because I hear like the book is pretty detailed,
Yeah.
but then when they do this, people, the way people talk about certain scenes, it just sounds like this show has romanticized suicide, and I don't know. I could be completely wrong. It could be something good, but
I mean, I see where you're getting at. For me, watching the whole thing, I wouldn't say it like romanticized it. It definitely doesn't glorify it.
okay.
It's funny because a lot of people like have talked about the show saying like, oh, this is a show that it glorifies suicide and it's making a bad thing. They're turning a bad thing into a good thing, and I'm like, no, they're just telling a story.
Yeah.
Like I mean I know it was really impactful, and it has a pretty good message to it, but the show is not like a preachy show. It's like, this is what you shouldn't be doing. It's literally a show just trying to tell a story, just like the book is.
Yeah, because that was kind of my concern about watching it, was because I don't want it to be too preachy. I didn't want it to romanticize suicide in that, because it's a subject that when a film or a TV series does it, it can do it very well or it can do it very poorly. Like there's no in between. I think that's one of the reasons why I admire Mr. Robot so much, is because it's a show about a vigilante hacker, but at the same time, like the main character, he deals with like mental illness and depression and stuff like that, and they show it in a way that isn't like that isn't like overwhelming or even like hard to watch. Like in the very first episode, I think like he's in the corner like crying because he's like I can't hold in my loneliness,
right.
And then it just snaps into the next scene. But it's not like it's not a subtle thing. It's not like, it's just I guess what I'm trying to say is like with shows like that, it's very hard to find a show that can do it well and a show that can do it great.
Yeah.
So just my concern was like, I don't want to go into 13 Reasons Why and be like, this sucks, because they don't understand anything.
Yeah, no, and I think what it is like they understand what the content they have. They understand like the whole story and the aspect of it. But they don't, how do I say it? It's like they don't try to turn it into something that's like, again, like preachy, like it's literally just a story about a girl who kills herself and leaves these tapes. For these people to listen to, and she's giving the detailed reasons on why she did this, and it's
like a boy who was like in love with her, like he finds them.
Okay. I mean, I'll tell you, I love the show. It hooked me. Like I wanted to watch, and I kept wanting to like see what the next episode was, and it pissed me off. It's like, God damn it, Clay, would you fucking listen to your tape, but it's again, it's just telling a story, and it definitely doesn't romanticize the whole thing, because there are some scenes that are extremely cringeworthy.
Don't they like actually show her like performing the act?
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that's a glorifying scene at all. It's a very painful scene. I actually had to turn away for some parts of that scene, and it's brutal. Yeah. It's really brutal, but it's also very powerful because again, they're not trying to send a message, but the message is, it's because the message is already there. Suicide is this got really dark, by the way.
Well, no, I get, we're running out of time for this segment, but but I get what you're saying. Just my whole concern was like I was thinking like they're just gonna romanticize this thing, because from what I saw the trailer, because I was like, what is this everyone's talking about, and I checked out the trailer, and that's how it came off. It's like they just romanticizing this thing, but now hearing your input, maybe I might like give it a try.
And I definitely think you should give it a watch, because it hooks you. You do want to keep finding out like what her reasons are, and you kind of like sympathize with her. Like you understand her reasonings and stuff. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of plot holes though. Like she could have just done this or could have done that, but the mentality of a young teenager. Obviously, they're not gonna they're not going to think a little bit more. They're not going to think rationally or logically. But yeah, I would definitely recommend not Stranger Things. Well, that I recommend too. Yes, 13 Reasons Why. Because season 2 is coming out pretty soon. I'm not sure when, but
there's a lot of things people really tell me to watch. I've been having a lot of people nag me about Game of Thrones, and I'm just like,
yeah,
put lightsabers in it, and then we can talk.
Yeah, but going all the way back to Stranger Things, the first season was great. I love the 80s aspect of it. Even like the theme song was a very like synth heavy thing.
I love the theme song. I actually bought cause I fell in love with the soundtrack so much that I bought it on digital, but I also went out and bought the records for it because the records have just incredible art on them.
Of course.
So they're hanging up on my wall, and I'm just
yeah. All I know is that with season 2, the visuals that we're gonna get, I definitely think with the trailer that I just saw, we're definitely going to see more of the Upside Down and more of like the things that live in the Upside Down. I think I talked about it last episode where it was either the mist or the fog, whatever it was. I probably should have looked it up. But it had like, those creatures coming out of another dimension. You had this giant thing just kind of walking around.
So in the teaser trailer, it actually speaks to Will. Like, it speaks his name to him.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, he's definitely got this connection with all of
That's
them.
what I'm saying. I feel like Will be like a conduit. Like, because he spent so much time in the Upside Down.
There are clips where he's, like, just standing there. Like, just, like, with complete, like, paralysis. And he's in the Upside Down. And so, like, I maybe it's his mind that's just, like, switching back and forth, because obviously his physical body's still there. So, I don't know, maybe I wonder if he can turn it on or turn it off. Or maybe it's, like, an anxiety thing where it's just, like, it just happens.
Or...
Because in the teaser trailer, they're at the arcade, and all of a sudden, Will starts hearing his name being called, and he walks out, and that's where he sees that giant...
The giant thing, right. It could be that, too.
I'm hoping for more... Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, you're good.
But I'm hoping for more monsters. The Duffer Brothers have said that there's going to be a few more monsters in this.
Oh yeah,
so,
and I mean it's pretty much expected because like you had like the Demogorgon in the first season. It's like what, and then you have this big tentacle smoke thing in the second season.
There was a few like cracked eggs in the first one when Hopper and Joy go in to try to get Will. So, who knows, maybe the Demogorgon actually ate him, or something hatched.
Right, yeah, so. And it could be something like that. And, like what you're saying about, like, with Will, like, it flashes to, like, the Upside Down and stuff. It could be something like that, too, but what I think it would be interesting to see is if the Upside Down is leaking into the real world because of Will. Because we don't really know what happened to Will in the Upside Down, so he could be like that thing. It's like he's the reason why the Upside Down is now leaking into.
Because 11 is the reason why the dimension cracked open.
Right.
Why it cracked open, because she, her powers were out of control, and she opened that rift. So maybe, because I don't think there's still openings. Like there's still pathways that you can take. Like Nancy goes through like a trunk of a tree, and she ends up on the Upside Down. So there's that portal, and I think there's the one still at the Hawkins research lab.
Right.
So
well, I feel like now that whatever this thing that has a hold on Will, now he has like a living connection to the real world.
So the Duffer Brothers actually said that Will's not the only one who's been exposed to the Upside Down, and the only other people that were exposed were Nancy when she went in through, and she wasn't wearing no protective gear,
right?
Nothing at all. And then I think the other one, it might have been Hopper. I want to say, I think he took off his mask to.
I think that sounds about right. Yeah,
to give Will CPR.
Right.
So, I wonder if something's gonna happen with them. Like, were they affected at all? Maybe
it could be.
Maybe Nancy starts having some visions.
It could be, and maybe because the minimal time that they spent there, probably like the side effects aren't as significant as it is with Will. So, but I mean, hey, I guess we'll definitely find out when season 2 comes out, and I'm definitely excited to see it. I'm definitely gonna be like binge watching it and stuff. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really, really good.
I'm excited.
So, speaking of 80s things, The Last Jedi. What?
I was gonna say parachute pants.
And, I mean, the reason why I say Last Jedi is because,
Because there are no more Jedi.
no.
They're all gone.
You know what? I had a segue, but never mind. Just fuck it. I think I lost it.
The porgs, the pogs, what are they called? Those fucking birds.
I think Pogs were 90s.
Whatever. Pogs. I know you got pogs around here.
I actually don't. I never knew what Pogs were until like a few years ago.
Pog. You know there are pog tournaments.
Still?
Probably.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Wherever the '90s died, that's where they're at. Fucking skate parks.
The Van Skate Park.
There you
here in
go.
the city,
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
But okay, yeah, The Last Jedi. The trailers dropped. Like the new trailer dropped not that long ago. It was like, was it Sunday?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, or it was one of those days. And we basically get like a full look at Luke Skywalker, the new walkers, this Pokemon looking like bird bird thing, alien.
They definitely sound like a Pokemon cry.
It did, and I want it. Like I want it, like right here on my shoulder.
I'm pretty sure they stole that. Like Disney has so much money that they're like, we'll just steal from Nintendo. It's fine.
It's fine. Don't worry
Take the
about
soundbite. We'll take it.
it. Okay, so do you want to go through this new trailer one like bit by bit?
We can just. There's one thing that I want to bring up because I find it so interesting, and there have been rumors about it. So in a lot of the Hot Toys that have been coming out, there have been certain images of Luke wearing this like trinket or this necklace, and there's a red like bright stone in it, and people are thinking that it's Vader's.
That's actually something I. Oh Jesus Christ!
Stop copyrights.
Thought I muted that. All right, my bad, everybody.
Yeah, we're done. Disney's on our ass. There's Men in Black outside your door.
A cease and desist letter just magically appeared in my hand. No, yeah, I did hear about that he is wearing like a red crystal around his neck, and yeah, it is speculated that is the crystal.
You think he'll use it? You think he'll like pop it in?
I don't know. Maybe. You think he's popped it in before?
Nah, no. I don't think so. He took too much time in that deleted scene cave, building his lightsaber.
But yeah, like I think that'd be kind of actually interesting.
So we haven't seen his lightsaber. Do you think he still has his green lightsaber?
I think he does.
I'm pretty sure he does. Like it's probably just like sitting on a shelf somewhere.
Oh yeah, probably because it does because I know that
in a junk drawer somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you go back to
his
like
old Nokia phone.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ! That's it. We're done. No, because like at the end of Return of the Jedi, like he takes his lightsaber and it looks like he throws it down the shaft. At least that's what I always thought. You know,
but he has it at the end.
Yeah, I know he does exactly. And definitely like the stuff like leading after the movie, like in the comic books, or not the comic books, but anything. Well, yeah, comic books, anything that came out, whether it was Legends or the new stuff that's been coming out.
Even the most recent thing that was Battlefront 2, the video game, the one that it'll be coming out next month.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
There's in the trailers for it, we see him actually picking up his lightsaber.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he has it,
and the game is canon. So anything that happens in that game is all directly tied to the series. So I'm more than sure that he has it. But will he use it? The Last Jedi will be a disappointment to me if I do not see Luke take out just like an army of men. I don't.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
I just want him to just
old Luke,
old Luke, just go around, just like really, like Logan third act, just
oh my god,
just go. Like I would be completely fine with him going down by Kylo and then having Kylo and Rey have their fight. But as long as I can see Luke just mow down like a few Knights of Ren or something.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Yeah, because like with like episode 2, we saw Yoda for the first time fight with his lightsaber, and that was ridiculously cool. I mean, say what you will about like.
So with Star Wars, we learned that history repeats itself. Do you think that Luke might actually have that scene and it'll just repeat what they did with Yoda?
It could be, maybe not in the whole acrobatic way that he did, because I
don't want to see old Luke fly through the.
I kind of do, because that would be funny.
I just want to see him like just real tactical.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a really cool scene if Luke switched his lightsaber on and just went crazy and started like destroying everything, and because obviously
Luke just flails his lightsaber around,
because obviously he's like the only master Jedi that's still left out there. So obviously he's gonna learn, or maybe not. He's not gonna learn, but he has to have at least a better fighting ability than he did from like Return of the Jedi and stuff. Obviously, the old experience is gonna get to him. So I think it'd be really cool to see just how far Luke has become. Because in the Legends series, all that stuff that came out after Return of the Jedi, before the new stuff, Luke Skywalker was considered the Grandmaster of the new Jedi Order, kind of like what Yoda was. And I think it'd be really cool if they took some of that and brought it to how he is in the new stuff. So I think it'd be really cool to see.
So I saw a poster, and I wanted to bring this up because I saw a post about the posters that said the villain is always looming in the background. And, you know, in each one, it's either Vader or Maul or, you know, Palpatine. In this one, it's Luke. Do you think there might be something that, like, switches Luke? He's like, I just gotta end everything. And he just, like, he might even try to take out Rey, which is why maybe at the end of the trailer, she's talking to Kylo, like, you need to show me, like, my place. Because clearly it's not with Luke. It's not with the Jedi. It's not with the Sith.
That'd be interesting. I think that'd be kind of interesting.
Like he'd be I feel like maybe Luke might be forced into a situation where he needs to end everything.
That could be it, because it does seem like he has like this reluctantness of teaching Rey. Because he says in the trailer that he's only seen this kind of like raw power before, and he wasn't scared of it, but he is now. So it just seems like
I can only assume he's talking about Kylo.
Probably, yeah. And unless he's not, unless he could be talking about Snoke
or Vader,
something. But I mean, I'm pretty sure it's heavily implied that he's talking about Kylo Ren. And you know, the fact that he's so scared of, you know, I want to say Rey's power, because she did learn. She picked up everything really fast. Like as soon as she like opened up those gates, it just like her power just kind of flooded out. You know, so it would make sense to see like Luke doing like everything he can to prevent what happened to his new Jedi Order, to prevent that from happening. So he just needs to end it. So
did you see in The Force Awakens, did you see Rey as a Mary Sue? Because I didn't. I feel like maybe she got her powers, she mastered her powers just a bit too, well, not even mastered, but she got the hang of her powers just a bit too early on. But at the same time, I'm like, it should come natural to, maybe she's heard stories, maybe she's had an idea of how.
Could be, but it also could, I want to say it's more of the Anakin Skywalker thing, where even as a young boy, Anakin was a very talented person in the Force. Like he was doing things that, you know, normal kids, or at least, you know, normal people wouldn't do. I mean, he was pod racing, and again, say what you will about the prequels, and you know, I love the pod racing scene, but it is stated that, you know, he's the, or at least he claims that he's the only human who can do it, because, you know, and Qui-Gon says that he must have Jedi-like reflexes, which makes sense because those things can go really fast. So it could be in the whole thing where Rey just has all this power, or she's just naturally gifted with all the power that she has. She's just never utilized it or trained it, you know. And now that she started like focusing in on herself and focusing and channeling it, that of course she's gonna learn how to call the lightsaber to her hand.
Do you think when she, because people are like, how did she learn mind tricks? How did she learn this? How did she learn that? Do you think, I feel like when she touched Anakin's, well, now her lightsaber, maybe, I think that was a point where her powers, like, finally, like, just opened the floodgates.
It could be.
And maybe all the wisdom, because you even hear Obi-Wan speak to her, so maybe just, like, I want to say, not indirect, you know, instructions were given to her, but maybe like ideas and certain things were probably implanted into her.
Because I know I read that there was like a theory that the reason why Rey was able to do all this stuff was because she read about it. Excuse me, that she read about, you know, the tales of the Jedis and using their tricks and stuff like that. So maybe again, like you said, maybe when she touched the lightsaber, it did kind of reawaken something in her, and when she's, you know, on that chair, you know, telling the stormtrooper that she needs to leave or, you know, to let her go, obviously, like, in the first few attempts, it didn't work.
Yeah.
But like, the moment she just started, she focused and calmed herself and calmed her mind, that's when it worked. So I feel like she didn't pick it up too quick, but because of her natural ability to do these things, it's definitely a lot faster than, I guess, like a normal student would do. And I think that's because, you know, she would hear about all these tales and stuff. So she's like, oh, well, I've heard of Jedi using their mind to do, or to make people do other things. So let me give that a try. So, and then obviously it failed the first couple times, but then she's like, wait a minute. Boom. Gets it to go. And then Daniel Craig just walks out the door.
Hey. I loved when I found out that was Daniel Craig. I was like, okay, yeah, it's James Bond. But so yeah, I think with this Last Jedi, it's gonna be, if anything, it's gonna be something that's gonna leave episode 9. It's gonna leave episode 9 like to answer a lot.
Yes,
because this
definitely.
Because I feel like this isn't gonna. This movie's not gonna be like a one and done, not at all. Like there's gonna be something big that happens.
I feel like it's gonna be playing the part of like an Empire Strikes Back, because like with Empire Strikes Back you had that big battle sequence in the beginning.
That's why I'm saying like maybe Luke, because in Strikes Back, you get that, you know, I'm like your father scene, something like that. So how do you top that in a reboot, not reboot series? So, you know, you probably end it with like Luke being like, I have to end everything. Like I need to stop like Jedi can't, like there won't be peace unless the Jedi and the Sith are gone. And so maybe he takes it upon himself to be like, you know, in the third movie, that's when I'll end it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So
like maybe he decides to be like, the Force will end with me, and that's where it'll stay.
So you're saying like in the Last Jedi, Luke will have devised a plan to end everything, and then this third movie just deals with him, or the third episode 9 will deal with everybody trying to stop Luke from doing this.
Maybe.
Or it could be
because what would be left? Because unless Snoke is eliminated in this upcoming one, which I don't think he will. Also, a lot of rumors saying that he isn't Force sensitive. Clearly he is.
Oh right, yeah, because of what he does to Rey.
Clearly he is.
Yeah.
So
I think they should have kept him as a hologram, because God, he's ugly.
And well, they gotta show him.
I guess
they gotta show him. Yoda was a puppet who looked.
That's true. But okay, now that I'm thinking about it, they showed his complete face as in the hologram, but in this trailer, they're blocking the rest of his face as if it's like, if we reveal his face, it's going to reveal something that we don't want to reveal yet.
I don't think so. I think it was just kind of...
It was just the way they did that?
Yeah, I think it was just the way it was edited, and maybe they were just trying to intensely like show that like he does have Force powers.
Probably. Yeah. Okay. Now going to, well, when the trailer opens up, you see like these walkers, and they look
They're definitely modified because
heavily modified.
They have those like gorilla arms.
They honestly, I feel like they actually could just be a brand new type of walker that they just.
So I think what it is that they've probably learned from the Empire, because if you notice, like on the forearm, it has like ridges.
Yeah,
So
from their
they're not gonna get taken down by A-wings.
No,
Yeah.
no, obviously not. Yeah, because I think I've heard about these walkers being like a type of like all-terrain type thing, like a more all-terrain walker. Like I heard that they were able to like walk on like cliffs, like, on the sides of cliffs, and it makes sense now that they have, you see like the fists or like the gorilla fists they have,
Those palms, yeah.
which I think would be really cool. That'd be kind of an interesting scene because obviously there's a lot of parallels to Empire Strikes Back. You have the walkers in the distance, and then the speeder type vehicles approaching them, and I feel like there's definitely an Empire Strikes Back kind of vibe with this movie. But it still feels like it's going to be a twist, you know? Like, there's going to be some sort of, like, I thought about it, and I would actually really like to see Rey turn into the villain.
I think a lot of people are hoping for that. I think a lot of people are hoping for sides to be switched, so Rey, you know, she'll tap into the dark side, and then Kylo, maybe we see Leia bring him back.
You could,
because we see in the trailer he's very hesitant to shoot his mother, so. Well,
that could also be a play on editing too, and actually,
yeah, that's true.
What I do want to go back to, that the end of the trailer where she's saying that she needs someone to help find her place. If you notice, like in the background when she's talking, it's a little bit different than than Kylo's background because it looks more. It could just be the way that they played the editing with.
Yeah, so I mean they've done it before. They did it with Force Awakens before, because in the Force Awakens trailer, we never saw Rey hold a lightsaber. It was always Finn, and everyone said, "Oh, Finn's the Jedi. Finn's the Jedi."
That's definitely what I thought when I first saw that.
So I think what that scene will be is maybe Luke gets beaten down or something. I think she's talking to Luke. It could be a play on editing. She's probably talking to Luke, and this is just her final like beg, of like, you need to show me, like you can't do this alone. You need to show me my place. You need to show me.
But say it's not a play on editing. Let's say that she actually is talking to Kylo Ren. I feel like that would be.
But then who would Kylo be extending his arm to?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if she really is talking to Kylo Ren by saying, like, I need someone to find his place? So he extends his hand as a way of, like, I'll help you. I'll help you to find the way. You know. So, and I feel like that would be a very interesting dynamic to see the supposed hero and villain teaming up, and who knows? It could be like, because obviously Kylo Ren struggles from the light side, which is something we've never seen in any of this. I wouldn't say any Star Wars, anything. Like, you always see the characters struggle with the dark side. You never see a villain struggle with the light side. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe Kylo Ren and Rey will be neither Jedi nor Sith, and who knows? We might even get the first on-screen appearance of rogue Jedis. You know, people who or gray Jedis. People who
Grey Jedis aren't a thing.
Grey Jedis are a thing. They are the people who exist in between the light and black, or light and dark.
Whatever. Choose a side.
No, I feel like it's definitely a different dynamic to that, because
but I can't see where you're coming from that, because I know that they had like disbanded Grey Jedis, I think like a year ago. They're like, Grey Jedis are not a thing anymore, but like maybe the studio was like, let's have this dynamic come in, which again is just more reason for me to believe that Luke may inadvertently become a villain, not wanting to, but he just wanting to put an end to everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of cool, because the first three, or the original trilogy, it shows that Luke was the underdog who grew up to be the hero that saves everything, and now we see him as this crotchety old man just wanting to burn everything down, and I think that'd be definitely a good character development for him. Yes, I think that would be cool, and it would be a good character development and a good story twist to see like Kylo Ren and Rey joining forces, and who knows, maybe they create their own Jedi Order, or where light side and dark side doesn't exist but one.
Yeah. So.
But I think that would be kind of complicating things.
Yeah. So just last thing, because we're running out of time.
Are we really?
Yeah. Don't want to go on for 2 hours.
No, that was a mistake. We had a lot to say.
Yeah. So, what do you think they're going to do with Leia now that, sadly, Carrie Fisher's no longer with us?
Honestly...
Do you think they're going to just retire her? Which I think would be the more... I feel like it would be the safer and the more, like... I don't want to say... I was going to say high ground. But
oh god,
high ground. It's not the high ground way, Anakin. Fucking love robot chicken.
Oh my god.
Anyways, but on a serious note, do you think it would just be safer for them to just retire Leia? But then how would you do so without bringing her back for 9?
Is she scheduled to come back at 9?
I don't think so. They said that they wanted to retire her after this. But
okay, so what I think's going to happen, and I don't necessarily like it, but it's a theory that I have. I feel like in that scene where Kylo's flying his ship, and he has his targeting system locked onto the capital ship where Leia is, or supposedly is, I feel like he does shoot the ship down, and Leia does die by the hands of her son, which would explain her absence from, episode 9.
Do you think they'll double down on the parent death, though?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, do you think they'll double down on, like, Kylo being like, yeah, another parent?
Well, because that's what I'm saying. Like, he already killed... he already killed Han Solo in the first movie, or in The Force Awakens.
Well,
so I feel like it'd be kind of...
So I'm really sticking by this, and I don't know why. But do you think that maybe, for some reason, maybe a byproduct of what Luke does, he's responsible for Leia's death? And that's why he's like, now, like, he's like, because of this, like, I've lost so much. He's like, I've lost my nephew to the dark side. My brother-in-law's now dead, and now my sister. I lost my father. I lost my aunt and uncle. Like, he's
lost so much.
He's lost so much. At this point, he's just like, I'm done, and it just goes on a killing spree.
Yeah. Hey, so, maybe we'll get that kind of killing spree.
So, but I don't know. I don't want to see Leia die, but then again, I can't justify her existence in the series afterwards. If she just says like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna retire now.
The way I see it, the best way they can do it, and who knows, maybe they already shot it this way, is maybe she sacrifices herself.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe she does something that she'll maybe sacrifice herself, and that brings Kylo to, like, that awakens the light even more in him with that, and maybe he's the one who's trying to join Rey. And maybe she's like, well, now that you're that you saw the error of your ways, maybe now you can show me my place. So
yeah, I mean that,
because we've known Star Wars to get complicated in the past. And,
yeah,
and I don't mean that in Anakin's distaste for sand. But
oh god,
read a romance book, bro.
Yeah, no, hey, that could definitely work.
It sounds a little convoluted and a little complicated, but again, I can't bring myself to think of. I mean, obviously the writers are a lot more creative than I am, so maybe they'll find a way to make it fit if they're not gonna, kill off Leia. But at the same time, like, I don't want to see Leia die.
Yeah.
But I can't understand her being alive and not be a part of the resistance and not, you know.
Yeah, so I guess it could be three things. They could have Kylo Ren. They can do the easy route and have Kylo Ren shoot down the ship and she dies, and like the way they shot it, or because obviously they would have had to have shot it before. They can't just go back and like redo it, you know.
Yeah.
So it could be either he shoots down the ship, she dies like that, which is like I think a cheap way to do it. She could go down in a heroic sacrifice that, like you said, maybe opens up more of the light in Kylo.
Maybe she tries to. Well,
she could just retire completely and just like, I have to go somewhere, and she's just never really heard from again.
That could be a thing. I mean, Luke did it. Why can't she?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. But I do feel that a more heroic sacrifice would be the way to go.
Last option, maybe she confronts Snoke. And maybe that's her heroic sacrifice. She ends up dying by the hand of Snoke. And Kylo's like, "You bitch!" like you killed my mom.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I'm excited for it. Last thing, Black Panther.
Oh God!
completely out of topic, but Black Panther trailer looks amazing. The suits are synthetic. Calling it now, best sci-fi movie of 2018.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it that. It's gonna be the best Marvel movie.
Probably, because what do we have coming out next year? Because we have Thor Ragnarok that'll end this year, and then we have Black Panther, and then I want to say
Infinity War.
Infinity War, is that it? I'm pretty sure we're missing something.
Maybe.
Because let's see. Iron Man had his trilogy. Thor's about to have his trilogy. Who's the other one? Am I missing someone? Captain America. He just had his trilogy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just gonna be Black Panther and then Avengers. So, so the trilogies are already set. I don't think Spider-Man has a movie coming up next year.
I don't think so. No.
No, he's got one 2019. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, that one looks good too. Yeah. So. All right, I guess calls it an episode. Definitely much shorter than the last one.
Yeah.
Twitter handles.
You guys could follow me at Alex Dior. The guy still hasn't given me my O back, so the quest for
the O.
for the O. Actually, I like my handle because every time I put it into something, they're like approved. I'm like, oh, thanks.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I'm at DC Fanboy 91. So if you want to follow us on Twitter and let us know how we did, and maybe you just want to tell us to shut up, you can definitely do that too.
Yeah.
So all right, you guys. Catch you guys later on the next one.
Bye.
See ya.